Hey guys, it's me, Brenna Huckaby, and welcome back to my channel. As many of you guys know, I had my baby. The baby bump's still a little bit there, but it's mostly gone. And I wanted to share what that process looked like because as an amputee, it's a little different, or at least I thought it was going to be a little different because I wasn't sure because you can't really walk around, you got your prosthetic leg, and what is going to happen. For those that don't know, my name is Brenna Huckaby. I'm a Paralympic snowboarder, cancer survivor, and now a mom of 2 and an above-the-knee amputee. And I just share things that I find relevant to my life as an amputee that I think people can benefit from. Or not, I don't know, but let's just talk about it and see where it goes. I have 2 kids. My first was a scheduled cesarean and my second was a scheduled induction for a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after a C-section. And both times I had no idea what to expect. I feel like the cesarean was a little easier because you go in, you're getting cut open, it's surgery, it's pretty straightforward, nothing remarkable. But I was so curious what this journey was going to look like giving actual birth as an amputee. So Friday, January 24th, I went in for my scheduled induction and I wore my prosthetic leg because I wanted to be able to walk around. My mom had told me walking through contractions is going to be your best friend. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give birth as naturally as possible. So I turned down the epidural for as long as I could. I did end up getting an epidural. And for those that don't know, once you get an epidural, your butt is staying in bed. You can't walk around. There's no moving around. There's no bathtubs, no showers, nothing. You were locked into your bed. So I wanted to avoid an epidural as long as possible. Around 2 p.m., my Pitocin was given and I started to feel contractions. And I have to say, I didn't know what a contraction was going to feel like. It was my first time going into active labor since I had a scheduled C-section when I first, so I was like, I don't know what to expect. And it's really funny because apparently since December, I was experiencing contractions because I was like, wow, I felt these before. I know what this is like. And it really wasn't that bad because I'm like, holy cow, I've been in this pain since December, whatever. Around 5 p.m., my doctor broke my water. And y'all, when I say it hurt, it hurt. Now, I'm not talking about the breaking of the water. I'm talking about the contractions. It went from a 0 on the pain scale to probably a 7. And I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, this is real painful. So I took my prosthetic off and I jumped into the bathtub. And I realized my mistake at this point because the second that my prosthetic was taken off, I knew it was not going back on. For those who don't know, it is a process to get my prosthetic on and off. And I was all wet and in pain and I was not here for it, okay? So mistake number 1, leg was off. I knew it was game over for any walking around, any movement. And then that means epidural's probably on the table. So I took my bath in complete pain. I did forget my crutches. And so I asked the hospital, I was like, yeah, I got some crutches I can use. And they did. I think it was the only pair. I live in a very rural town. And so there's not a whole lot going on. I'm pretty sure I got the only pair of crutches in that entire hospital, but that was also a savior because then I could go to the bathroom, which I could not have done if I didn't have crutches. So anyway, I sat in the bathtub for as long as possible. And then around 8 p.m., my contractions were every 30 seconds. And at like a 10 on the pain scale, I was like, oh. Okay, so I made a video a while ago about my amputation story and how I ran out of pain medicine for 4 hours and how painful and excruciating it was and I passed out from the pain. Let me tell you guys, this was just as bad. I was like, oh, no, I can't breathe, I can't relax, I can't do anything. So I asked for an epidural. And I am in a rural town. So it took about 30 to 45 minutes for the on-call anesthesiologist to come in, administer my epidural. So I ended up getting an epidural, and like I said, it was game over. I was locked into my bed. 2 hours later, I gave birth. Literally, my doctor came in, she was like, oh, you're 8 centimeters. Let me just like move some stuff around. Now you're 9, now you're 10, let's get pushing. Literally from 8 centimeters to the time that the baby came out was like 15 minutes. It freaked me out. I was not prepared. But let me tell you, delivering a baby with a prosthetic leg is no different than delivering a baby without. They hold you the same, they cradle you the same. If you have an epidural, you're not walking around anyway. So it didn't really matter. My doctor had also mentioned that she had delivered a few people that are paralyzed from the waist down, and she's like, they're also no different. You do have to talk through pushing a little bit more, but otherwise your body knows what it's doing regardless of disability. And I kind of think that's amazing. So I just wanted to share. Yeah, it's not that super informative. I did take video while I was there, and then I realized once the pain started how horrible it was, and I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. So I put my phone away and cried because it hurt so bad. But long story short, I gave birth to a beautiful little girl who you could probably hear squeaking in the background. If you are planning on having a C-section, get a wheelchair. And the reason I say this, and you could probably rent them or find somebody that has one, because you may not need it the entire time of your life, but it's really good to have after a C-section, because you want to be able to be moving and getting a bottle or your baby or food for yourself, and gain that independence after delivering, because your life and your world changes so much after a baby. Having that normalcy of doing things for yourself is super important. So get a wheelchair, and you're able to stay active, stay mobile, hold your baby, get your food without putting a ton of pressure on that scar, because if you're anything like me, putting your prosthetic leg on is kind of tricky, and that abdominal pressure is so painful and so aggressive that like you don't want to do it. And crutches also, I noticed after my C-section when I was crutching that pulling on my ab muscles hurt so bad. So a wheelchair was my best friend. So if you're new to this and you want to know how to prepare, maybe figure out if you have access to a wheelchair, and that would help a lot if you do end up having a C-section. I hope this video helps any amputees or anybody that's trying to have a baby, just want some general information, is already pregnant and or about to deliver. Don't be afraid, you got this, you are strong, you are capable, your body is amazing, okay? If you liked this video, leave a like, drop a comment on maybe some additional things that I didn't think of. I hope this helps. So yeah, subscribe to my channel so we can keep this tango going. Bye, you guys. Okay, you guys, side note. So I live in like the middle of nowhere, and there's one hospital, it's really small. In this hospital, you guys, they gave me a 20-minute back massage after I delivered my baby, okay? A steak dinner with wine for Tristan and I the night after we delivered our baby. And the bathtub had like jacuzzis and jet, and it was all in one place. And I'm just saying, Wyoming's got a nice little hospital, okay? Because it was low-key, like there was 3 people that entire weekend who gave birth, and I don't know, here for it. That was amazing. That's my small child making noise.